During the Switch presentation back in January, Nintendo kind of just flashed some Bomberman footage in a montage and didn't say anything about it. Bomberman, nice! Somebody said something about Bomberman. Give me more Bomberman.
That looked sexual.
I was like, whoa. Go back to that. It was honestly the most exciting launch game, to me anyway. I know that a lot of you guys don't really know the significance of Bomberman or what he even is, so you have nothing to be excited about. So let me explain to you why this is a big deal. There have been over 30 Bomberman games over the years, starting in 1983 with the original Bomberman that came out for some PC engines, but it didn't go mainstream until it came out for the NES in 1985. It was a secret prequel to Lode Runner in that at the end of the game, the final frame has Bomberman turning into the guy from Lode Runner. But that's not really relevant to anything because that was the only case of Lode Runner and Bomberman being attached at all. Bomberman is perhaps most popular for its SNES games, Super Bomberman 1 through 5. They really flooded the market with man games back then. This is around the time that me and Will were into Bomberman, but we didn't have a Super Nintendo. We were into the one Bomberman game that came out for Sega Genesis, Mega Bomberman. Bomberman is an action puzzler. The map is one big maze that you can blow your way through. You place bombs across the board that can blow up enemies, but if you place them incorrectly, you can blow up yourself too. There are a slew of different abilities that spice up the gameplay, like kicking bombs, throwing bombs, having multiple bombs, increasing the blast radius of your bombs. And of course, as the game progresses, the levels and enemies get more and more difficult. For a long time, Bomberman was a big deal. Bomberman 64, The Second Attack, was a good time too, but that's unfortunately where things started to go downhill. Bomberman was developed by Hudson Soft, which was desperate for cash after its main bank collapsed. Hudson went public in the Japanese stock market in December of 2000, a couple months after Second Attack came out in North America. As a result, Konami bought 5.6 million shares of Hudson in August of 2001. In April of 2005, Konami became a majority shareholder. During Konami's slow acquisition of Hudson, Bomberman releases were few and far between. In 2006, we saw the release of Bomberman Act Zero for the Xbox 360. This was an attempt to reboot the franchise and will forever go down as one of the worst reboots of any franchise ever. This is what the Japanese developer thought that American audiences wanted, and boy were they wrong. They completely missed the mark. The poor sales resulted in Konami pretty much abandoning the franchise. The following releases were either ports or download-only shovelware. 2010 saw the last release, Bomberman Live Battlefest. Hudson was absorbed by Konami in 2011 and completely dissolved in 2012. All of Hudson's operations were taken over by Konami, and we all know how good Konami is with its IP. Until now! 7 whole years after its last release, we see Super Bomberman R sneak out. There weren't even any rumblings of this game prior to this year. It hits right in the nostalgia bone, even down to its name. R doesn't actually mean anything. A Konami spokesperson stated, R is a throwback feel for devs to when games could simply have a letter and allow that letter to carry many meanings. It symbolizes returns and reborn because this game is such an homage to Super Nintendo and Super Bomberman 3. But it also means Rangers, to represent the diverse and colorful group of Bomberman characters who patrol the galaxy. This is potentially a revitalization of the franchise. There's a whole lot riding on this game. I'm really hoping that it's the sleeper hit of the Switch release. I think with 8-player multiplayer, it's going to be a lot more fun than people are expecting. I got a chance to play the 2-player multiplayer for a little bit, and it was a blast. I could imagine taking your Switch out on a plane or on a road trip and knocking out a few levels with a friend. Competitive online would probably be a good time too. Most people are going to be preoccupied with Breath of the Wild when the Switch launches, but after people plow through that single player, hopefully Bomberman will tie them over until the next couple of Switch releases. And maybe Konami will be coaxed to give us some more. So what do you guys think about Super Bomberman R and the Switch release and it compared to the other games? Leave it in the comments below. Add me on Twitter, all of this other social media garbage. Is Bomberman something that was lost on you? Are you a kid that grew up without it, or did you skip that generation? Are you not part of the same generation? That's possible. 7 whole years it was gone. That's a whole generation that knows nothing about Bomberman. You really had to hit that window, that Super Nintendo Genesis window, to even be into Bomberman, I guess. Also, I have a problem. Not gonna get the Switch at launch, which is very upsetting for me. This is a big deal to me. This whole launch is a huge deal, but I got an opportunity where I will be in San Francisco when the Switch launches. And my pre-order is here in New York. Couldn't pass it up. And you can find out why I'm in San Francisco on Wulff Den Live every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But I'll probably be waiting in line at midnight at the GameStop trying to get one, or else I have to go get it when I come home. That is such a first world problem. Anyway, new videos every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and now Saturdays too sometimes. And of course, the most important things that you could do is subscribe and share this video with a friend who is into that Switch and maybe cares or does not care about Bomberman. I'm sure plenty of you are gonna plow through Breath of the Wild and then need something else to do. Bomberman's your game. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Have a good week. See you when the Switch is out.